Hey. I can't hear my headphones looking ass. Oh man, what is going on? Hey, what is going on? Another day, another 10 cents at the corporate plantation. I don't know how many people probably there today. I know it's a gang of motherfuckers there today. Just like my black ass too. I already know how it go. Plantation it is, all day, every day. Ain't that about a bitch? Oh, man. Wow. I'm your boy, Warren G, in the place to be. Been clowning sucker free since 2003. This is the No I Don't Know TV series, podcast, whatever the fuck it is. Oh, damn, I got to text Nuke, too. I keep forgetting. I got to text Nuke and see what she got going on. We got to get her back home before the holidays. She probably super busy, but I got to text anyway. But anyway, hey, man, it's been a long day. Cold in the motherfucker. Keep going from hot to cold. It's like, God damn, man. I know this weather better make up their fucking mind what it's going to do. As they see the clouds and shit. It's probably going to snow 10 times this winter in fucking Vegas, knowing how they fuck with the goddamn weather. But anyway, I digress. Appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. If you have not subscribed, then get your ass on down here and subscribe to this channel. Get you some of this good game and all this other bullshit. But anyway, man, I just thought I'd hit y'all up real quick. Anyway, man, shout out to everybody that's at the motherfucking clown-ass corporate plantation, because I know how that shit go. That shit is not fun at all, but it's something we got to do, because if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, not everybody. There's a lot of motherfuckers just sitting around finessing, not getting up, not going to work, not working no job, not trying to create no business, not slinging no dick, not doing nothing. And bitches sitting around the house. If you a woman in the United States of America, you got a pussy hole. So there's no reason why you should be broke at all. You like, damn, man, Warren, what you trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is, if you got to sell that pussy to get some money, to put some motherfucking clothes on your back and put some food on that table, then goddamn it, then that's what you need to start doing. But if you done sold too much damn pussy and you got a lot of miles on that pussy, you probably time to have to get your transmission dropped on that pussy. Because we're going to check the Carfax on it real soon. But anyway, I'm glad I got that reminder out of the way. But, man, I just wanted to talk to everybody today or whatever. Hey, man, shout out to the great Nick Cannon. Brother, I got nothing, but I am not no hater. I've always admired Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying? That nigga is a true leader of the culture. He is trying to empower us. He puts a lot of black people on. He's just very instrumental and monumental in how he is the gateway between corporate America and niggas that got raw, true talent, and he puts them on day in and day out. He has not only done that, but he has married one of the most significant players in the game and was married to the great Mariah Carey, whose catalog is probably comparison to Whitney Houston type shit. And it ain't like Mariah Carey's out there marrying a whole lot of niggas type shit. But, you know, I just admire Nick Cannon so much. His business moves and how business savvy he is. How he's been in the game for a long, long time. He's not no coon. He's not no Sambo. He stands up for the culture. And when it's some fuckery going on, Nick Cannon's gonna speak on it, and he's gonna speak on it in his own way. And hey, everybody got their faults, but this podcast today, I've been waiting to do this. Nick Cannon drops 2 diss tracks on Eminem. Now, y'all already know how I feel. Hey, I used to be a fan of Eminem because of Dr. Dre, because I'm into music and production. So the artist could be whack, but if the beat is tight, I'm talking about my generation. I'm gonna listen to the beat over and over again because I'm one that I gotta listen to the beat. I'm gonna look at the credits on the album to see who produced what, who played the keys, who did the drum programming. That's me. So, and I'm not making no excuses. So when Eminem first came on the scene, he's co-signed by Dre. I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. I know my brother, it was a lot of people that was not feeling Eminem. I'm talking about from his inception. Just was not feeling him. Now, they'll listen to the beats, but they wasn't feeling him. Now, I've always listened to the production of Eminem. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not like when he tried to do beats because I just thought all his beats were just not that great and they all sounded the same, and I just didn't really like any of the production that he did, but I always loved what Dre did. I always loved it. And you can't tell. Yes, I could tell, and I could distinguish the two. Now, did I always notice about Eminem that he would go at people that were kind of corny? Yeah, and I thought it was funny. But he never went at anybody of some type of significance. Yeah, he went at cannabis, but he was on such a larger, major scale that cannabis wasn't going to be able to respond even when he could. And there was a lot of Eminem, fans or whatever. But as time went on, see, I ain't going to front and be like, I never liked Eminem. I did. I had a whole bunch of Eminem CDs and shit. But as time went on, let me tell you why I didn't like him anymore. Because as time went on and I started listening to his music, you're just making music to cater to white people. This is just my opinion. This is just my personal opinion. I feel like in the beginning, he tried to make music to cater to black people, but it was such a phenomenon at the time to have a white rapper be co-signed by the biggest producer. You get enamored by it. But I think he took us being enamored by him and he kind of Iggy Azalea'd us. Oh, well, white people co-sign me, so I don't really have to make music for black people. And I don't think he does make music for black people. Because my thing is, in some of his albums, I remember one album he made, he did a tribute to the Beastie Boys. No diss to the Beastie Boys, but nigga, you got Big Daddy Kane, you got Rakim Allah, you got Nas, you got Jay, you got Big Pop, you got all these people that you can make a tribute to. You making a tribute to them? And then I just always felt like, this was before the untold story of hip hop in Detroit by Champtown. This is before that. I just started to look at stuff, and then when I started seeing a lot of black issues, police running up on black people, killing them, choking them out, all this other stuff, and I'm like, damn, he don't say nothing, but you're benefiting from the culture. So that's what made me start looking at him type of suspect. Now, lyrically wise, okay, depending on what you're basing your lyrics off of. Because I will, shout out to Lord Jamar too. Y'all need to go check out his podcast. He says a lot of shit that don't really make sense. If you go get his lyrics and look at his lyrics and you just be like, well, what the fuck is you talking about? And he does do a lot of blam, he does a lot of that shit. And I just be like, and it's hard to kind of get into, and it's hard to connect with his music, especially without Dre doing a lot of the music. It's just hard for me to connect because I don't really like the production behind some of the shit that he do. I don't like his own production. And I'm talking about lyrically wise. Now, if you want to go culturally wise, to me, I don't think he does anything for the culture that has a bigger impact than what Nick Cannon is doing. To me, it's not about popping. It's about putting black people in positions where they can better themselves. Yeah, he has Sway. That's the only street credit that he has is he's got Sway in the morning. That's it. That's the only thing that he has is Sway in the morning. That's it. But as far as I would say, as far as culturally speaking, what does he really do? You know what I mean? What has he done? I have noticed when he has falling out with people, he stands in the back, he throws rocks and hide, and then he lets the black people that love him defend him. But he never. How are you going to defend yourself when he was beefing with Machine Gun Kelly, or when he was beefing with Joe Budden, and you go on Sway in the morning? So of course the interview is gonna be swayed towards you, no pun intended. And I got love for Sway, because I love Sway. I got a lot of respect for him. But why didn't you go on a Breakfast Club, which is a neutral platform? Because he knows Charlamagne the God is probably gonna get in that ass about some bullshit. So of course you're gonna go to Sway. And then when Sway asked about Joe Budden, well, that was for that. Nigga, what do you mean? In the 90s, in the early 2000s, you stayed in court because you and your crackhead bitch that you got a baby by was fighting and arguing like trailer trash motherfuckers that y'all are. That's what you was doing. Nobody ever talks about that goddamn album that Eminem made, or song that he made, where he was calling black bitches, black women, all kinds of monkeys and bitches. And it was the most racist, vile song that I didn't have privy or knowledge to at the time when he came out. But let me tell you who brung that out. Irv motherfucking Gotti. So shout out to Irv Gotti. He said that a long time ago when they was beefing with, 50 Cent. He said, y'all cheering on Eminem. He made the most vile record about black women. And everybody just kind of rolled with it. Everybody just kind of was like, oh, okay, it's all good. Because I think we go with stardom. We go with whoever is winning, hypothetically. But, sorry, in my opinion, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You're done. I already didn't have no respect for him when he went on BET because his album was coming out. And he had that half-ass freestyle. And then all he want to do is talk about Trump. When is the last time you heard Eminem talk about racism and the system of white supremacy? And you could say, well, I don't hear any black rappers talking about that. There's plenty. There's Talib Kweli. There's Mos Def. There's Lord Jamar. Who else do I need to name? There's a whole lot of rappers that talk about racism and the system of white supremacy that are still relevant to this day. Then he goes at Lord Jamar and compares him to Elvis. Elvis was the most vile racist motherfucker and thief on this goddamn planet. So I'm glad he compared himself to Elvis, because he's a thief just like Elvis. You are a culture vulture. That's what you are. You are a culture vulture, and you have met your match. And you thought you were going to use Joe. You thought you was going to use Fat Joe as your, I would say, gateway to kind of diss Nick Cannon and then kind of stick back and hide. But I think you just want relevancy, and I think you get a kick out of talking shit about black people. Because my thing is, if you didn't, you would accept that you are a guest in hip-hop because it was created by black people, facts, and you would understand that since you were a guest, you don't have a right to be going around. I don't give a fuck if you did put on 50 Cent. You don't have a right to be going around and talking shit about other black people. You out of bounds. And that's where we're not on code. Because I cannot be a banker and then talk a whole bunch of shit about other Jewish bankers. They're going to cancel me. That's what they're going to do. Why don't you ask Henry Ford there's a book called The International Jew by Henry Ford. I have not read it. Oh, I got it in my arsenal. Can't wait to read it. And it breaks down a lot of the bullshit that was going on and how they ganged up on him. Because, see, Jews stick together. But we don't have that mentality. Because it's always like, oh, we cool. No. When you have a person, a part of the dominant society, that they're knowingly benefiting off of the culture of somebody else, and then they get within that culture and they think they can start shitting on other people, no, we have a problem. And that's why I got love for Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon ain't afraid of him. Nick Cannon done tried to sit down and have an honest conversation with Eminem on several occasions. But just like Suge Knight said on the first diss track, see, I heard both of the diss tracks. That's why I got love for Nick Cannon. The first one, y'all need to go listen to it. Fuck what everybody else talking about. Everybody else is just Eminem dick riding motherfuckers. And they don't even look at what's going on. I like what Suge Knight said. Nigga, Eminem is a bitch. I don't give a fuck about any of the fuckery that Suge Knight has done. This is about being on code at this point. When has the last time you've seen Eminem? I don't give a fuck if Eminem put on Joyner Lucas. That's one motherfucker. How many people have Nick Cannon employed in the last 10 goddamn years? And still employing and doing a documentary on Dr. Sabi. What the fuck is Eminem doing for our people and our culture? Putting out bullshit ass music. Just like when Joe Budden called his whole ass out, you hide behind Royce the 5'9", solidified lyricists that are probably better than you. I think are way better than you. You hide behind Royce the 5'9" and Crooked Eye, and then they all jump on Joe Budden. And I'm like, well, why are they jumping on him? Why don't you let him fight his own battle? Any Caucasian or any other person that's a part of the dominant society that comes amongst black people, if they are confident, they have no problem sitting down with another black man, looking him in his eye, and having a real conversation. But most of them are not confident. They lack confidence. They hide behind other black people, and they will not face their accusers when they're being accused of a crime of being disrespectful to a race or group of people. Unless they are forced to or they're losing money. I bet you if Eminem started losing a whole bunch of money and he had to go back to selling mixtapes and bullshit, he wouldn't disrespect other black hip-hop artists the way he does. And what he's doing is giving other white rappers the gall to do that shit to us. That's what you're doing. That's why when it's people of another race and they talking about they rappers and all that, I start questioning them. Where were you raised? How many black friends do you have? You got to start questioning motherfuckers. Which brings me to my next point. See, Nick Cannon is thorough and solidified and has done countless of things for our community and for our people to empower our people. Nick Cannon married Mariah Carey. He could have said, fuck all y'all niggas. I'm going to stay married to Mariah. I'm going to get paid and I'm chilling. No, Nick Cannon was still independent. Nick Cannon was still doing Wild 'N Out, still making money moves behind the scenes, still taking care of his children, still holding his ex-wife and baby mother in high regards and not letting people disrespect her. And I don't blame him for that. So, 10 years later, Eminem jumps on Fat Joe's shit and starts shitting on him about some shit that happened 10 years ago. I'm like, why is he even talking about that shit? And Nick Cannon had already addressed that. Nigga, I tried to find him and sit down with him. He's a recluse. No, he ain't no recluse. He's a bitch-ass motherfucker who suckered us all into fighting for him as some white hero, and he got a part of our culture and made money off us, and now he don't fuck with us no more. Eminem ain't made music for black people probably since 2009 when Dre did that fucking album. I don't know if it was Relapse or one of them when he was all on drugs and all this other shit, and he had to admit he was on drugs. Then he had to team up with Lil Wayne to come back and make his comeback again because he was falling off. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. You get no respect, you get no love. And then you just mad because Lord Jamar put you out there. Yeah, I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck Eminem, man. And this is the reason why I say that, because I'm tired of people benefiting off of our culture and what we have created, and then they don't even show no respect. Lord Jamar is a great in the game. He's a vet, a giant. And for a motherfucker like Eminem, a cornball who go at motherfuckers like Britney Spears, to start talking shit about Lord Jamar, that's a whole ass motherfucker to me. And that's why, go listen to the first diss. Suge Knight basically breaks him down. He's a bitch. And Nick Cannon does a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people. And basically, all you gonna do is run and hide and run behind the police. Nick is loved by everyone. It can go everywhere. You can't. You don't even go nowhere. He is the antithesis of motherfuckers that are culture vultures, get into the culture, talk shit about other people, and then run and hide. Like, what was the motherfucker, the Jewish motherfucker from Third Base? I forgot his name, but the Jewish motherfucker from Third Base, he tried to talk that shit about Hammer. Hammer was looking for that nigga. For real. Was it MC Search? Yeah, he had his little high top. Yeah, but I bet you now he's more claiming the Jewish side of the game. Now that the hip hop shit done ran off. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's what they do. They use our culture. So we gotta give people like Nick Cannon props. And then he dropped a second diss. And I like what the brother said in the second diss. One of the rappers was like, instead of Juice WRLD dying, nigga, you should have died. I love it. I love it. That's what he get. See, motherfuckers be throwing these rocks and hide. Hey, man, why don't you sit down and have a conversation with Nick? Matter of fact, you are disrespecting his baby mother, the mother of his children. So, but nobody seems to give a fuck about, oh, it's Mariah, fuck that bitch. No, motherfuckers don't even know Mariah Carey and they don't like her. You don't even know this woman. You don't even know what the fuck is going on. But it ain't about standing behind Mariah. It's about standing behind our brother Nick Cannon and valuing who he is as a black man that's trying to better his community. He don't have to do this shit he doing. Nick is paid. Oh, man, stop riding his dick. Every time you try to give another nigga props, niggas think you riding a dick and all this other shit, man. Look, let me tell you something. I watch what people do. Nick Cannon is thorough. Nick Cannon has the corner class. Nick Cannon done had Professor Griff on his shit. He had all kind. Man, please. He too thorough. And he ain't no fucking dummy. So I don't want to hear that shit. And what he does is he gives other black people opportunities. So like I said before, after Joyner Lucas, who else has he given an opportunity? We saw what happened with Slaughterhouse after Joe Budden put his ass out there. And then he tried to make, oh, I lost a lot of money too. Well, you shouldn't be trying to make no, you white. You'll always make money in this. You and your Jewish fucking manager, Paul Rosenberg. Man, get the fuck out of here. The only street credit he got is Sway in the Morning. That's it. And Heather B. That's it. And that's who he hides. And he gonna continue to hide behind that. But here's the difference. We got love for Sway, but you a bitch ass motherfucker just like Suge Knight said. And that's why I got love for Nick Cannon. We need to start being on code and stop being Sambos. And every time it's some dominant society person that we like, we want to jump out there. Okay, and if you jump out there, have facts. Like I saw 50 Cent was like, oh, I can't believe he would go after him and all that stuff. And I'm just thinking like, you act like Eminem done killed so many people in battle rap. Man, Proof was writing all his rhymes probably anyway. Which brings me to my next point. Go watch this documentary called The Untold Story of Detroit Hip Hop by Champtown. It's on Amazon Prime. Go watch it. It's a little gully. It's a little hood, but it's very, very educational. And after I watched that, that was all I needed to know. That nigga had so much footage on Eminem, acting like a corny ass white boy like they do. You know, just with the dumb fucking jokes and shit as he was helping him write his rhymes. And he had Kid Rock too. Kid Rock was never poor. He wasn't no poor white boy. He wanted to mark something off his bucket list. So he came over there to hang out with the niggas, the melanated brothers and sisters, you know, to mark that off his goddamn bucket list. But Kid Rock dad owned the biggest car dealership in Detroit. So he was never poor. And you know why he was never poor? Because look at him now. He's hanging out with a whole bunch of wealthy Republicans and playing guitars for the Republicans. So that should let you know all you need to know. And he has a kid by a black woman too. But that should let you know. See, as our brother Nipsey Hussle used to say, all money in. So when you come on this side, we don't need no Tim Wises on this side. So fuck Tim Wise too. As you profiting off of black people and acting like a goddamn preacher. Because when I grew up in the South and my mama and my mama told me, you know, because everybody, you know, got to get treated equal. Man, get the fuck out of here. But then when melanated people are getting killed in the streets unjustly, all you doing is going on CNN. We don't need you to go on CNN. What we need you to do is tell us what is being said about us when we not in the room. What we need you to do is start warning all your other white friends and all your other dominant society motherfucking people that, hey, that shit is wrong. And stop having white fragility. But I should have already known See, I already didn't like him in the first place. I was already suspect about him, but when he talked that shit about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, that was all I needed to know. Period. So that's why I did the podcast on that, because I'm like, well, somebody got to talk about this shit. So, hey, man, much praise and salute to Nick Cannon, man. He ain't got to be the best rapper. At least he's both. It's like going after Nick. It's like going after Eminem is like off limits or some shit. It's like, man, fuck that motherfucker, man. He's a guest in hip-hop. Shout out to Lord Jamar. And I stand with that motherfucker. And I'll be waiting for a motherfucker to come up to me with that Eminem shit. I'd be like, no, I don't listen to Eminem. I think he's garbage. He don't talk about shit. And half the shit he say don't even rhyme. Excuse me. Half the shit he say don't even fucking rhyme. It don't even make sense at the time. And it's not even relatable to the average black kid. How is that shit relatable at this point? How? Hell, he probably was more relatable when he's talking about the trailer park shit, but you don't even live there no more. So how's that relatable? How could you still, I don't never even hear him talking about racism, white supremacy. And I'm not talking about writing your rhymes. No. Why, instead of you doing that god-awful freestyle about Donald Trump, why didn't you talk about racism and white supremacy? Why don't you talk about, well, I'm only doing what I'm doing because I'm white. That's why people buy my rhymes, because I'm the great white hype. Any motherfucker that's from New York City or from the East Coast talking as Eminem is their favorite player, their favorite rapper, that's because he look like you. That's because you're not involved in hip-hop and you're not gauging it on no type of, I'm not talking about record sales. I'm talking about the form of hip-hop, because hip-hop is not something you do. It's something you live. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, no, he's not on, that's why, no, he's not on my top 20. Not me. Some people put him on their top 20, not me. He's not better than Corrupt. He's not better than Redman, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, DMX, Nas, Hove, Pac, Cube. Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Man, please. You know how many people, Jadakiss? Man, please. But you know what, though? People will put him before them because he's Eminem. Here's the difference between him and all those people I named. Pac didn't need no cosign by Dre. Jadakiss didn't need no cosign by Dre. DMX didn't need no cosign by. These are self-made careers by melanated brothers and sisters. But we will, you know why? Because we think the dominant society's ice is colder. That's what we think. So watch how, and it's so funny because I listened to the second disc by Nick Cannon. Man, salute to, that's why I got love for Nick. I like how he said, and I like on Twitter how he put it on there. I like how he put it on there. Why did your manager reach out to me telling me to kind of like, let's dead this shit? No, nigga, air that nigga out. Somebody do him like Pusha T did Drake. That's why Drake went back to just making his little hits. He's like, oh, I want to stay out of that ring because you know what's going to happen. Because Pusha T pulled you into that pig pen and got you all dirty and muddied your name. So you had to escape that and then go on LeBron James, The Shop on HBO, talking about, well, you know, LeBron called me and, you know, I asked what you think. And he said, you know, don't even respond because, you know, I could have. You know, I told LeBron I could have. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here, hoe ass nigga. And that's why Pusha T went on Joe Budden's podcast and was like, I'm about to play you this voicemail of some real niggas that got in contact with him. And those niggas told the truth and said, oh, you want some info on Pusha T? Okay, well, we need more than $100,000. We need enough money where we can never live in this neighborhood ever again and never come around ever again. Because that's what the fuck is going to happen. Go watch Joe Budden's podcast when he had Pusha T on there. Great podcast as well. See, niggas got to be, look, when you start throwing rocks, hey, don't throw rocks at motherfuckers unless you ready for the battle. And what I mean by that is when you see people like Eminem or you see other rappers, you know, that want to be Post Malone, all these people, they start talking shit about us. We got to be united. Be like, hey, man, somebody got to pull us. Somebody should have pulled his coattail and be like, hey, bro, just chill out with all that before that shit get ugly. Because it might get ugly. Because everybody think Nick Cannon is this nice guy. Yeah, you can think you're a nice guy. You want to run up on Nick Cannon and see how nice he is, nigga. That's why motherfucker don't want to have no conversation with him. That's why Nick Cannon said, man, I was looking for him for real. I just wanted to have a conversation. No, that whole ass motherfucker ain't gonna have no conversation because he know you gonna oops upside his head. Man, look, this is what needs to start happening. We need to start taking shit back. Period. That's why my motherfuckers run up on me talking about, you got a new Eminem? Hell no. Man, I ain't bought no Eminem CD in I don't think about 10 years. Because the last good one, I think the last good one was the one that Dre did. I forgot if it was it called Relapse or I forgot what it was, but that was the last one because I remember I was listening to it and my brother was in town and my brother was like, listen to the beats and he was like, who did these beats? I was like, Dre. He was like, man, that motherfucking white boy, that's the only reason why he hot because of Dre. Because Dre did like 10 beats on there. That CD was hot production-wise. Then the last CD where he did the Rap God shit, and that was okay. That was okay. It wasn't all that. There was only like 2 or 3 beats on there that I actually really liked. But the rapping, like some of the stuff, I broke down the Rap God and shit like that, and I just was kind of like, dang, he going hard. He's spitting, changing his style, but he's not really talking about nothing. And that's always been my issue. Like, dude, where's your substance? And then a lot of the shit rhymes, but it don't make sense if we talking technically speaking. So it's like, God damn, man. And then culturally, no, man, you garbage to me. Because you've been in the game since 98, 99. So you've been in the game 20 years, so you really should be. And I'm not talking about no giving to no foundations and no charities and all that. And no sway in the morning. And no. You should be walking up to niggas off the street and being like, oh, I saw you on Instagram, man. I'm about to put you on. Matter of fact, I'm about to put you. You're not educating niggas. You're not doing that. You know why? Because it ain't your job. But let me tell you this. It's not Nick Cannon's job either, but he's doing it because he's showing love, not to culture, not just for the culture, for black people. Because he knows our struggle. You don't. You just benefiting off our struggle. Because I don't know how many times we going to listen to you talk about your dope fiend ass mama and your whore ass baby mama, like, and all the bullshit. That's why when he said that shit about Joe Budden, I was like, nigga, you stayed in the news for getting into it with your baby mama. And I know why Eminem was getting into it with his baby mama. Because they some dope fiends. That's why. Crystal meth and crack cocaine and all other shit that motherfuckers do. I know that's why they was getting into it. It was never said that, but I know that's why. So, man, motherfuckers, go watch The Untold Story of Hip Hop by Champtown. Great, great documentary. It's going to tell you all you need to know. That's why I'm glad Nick Cannon is not bowing down. And I'm glad he put that motherfucker out there and was like, yeah, motherfucker, why your lawyers and them trying to get in contact with me and shit? Talking about ceasefire. So go ahead, come with another one. Hey, if you that nigga, if Eminem, I'm telling everybody right now, if Eminem is that lyricist, then go on Wildin' Out. Go on TV on Wildin' Out and do the freestyle battle. Do it with any of Nick Cannon. Do it with Nick. Since you that dude, go on there. Since it's friendly, but you know what? I know why you're not going over there. Because you got more to lose than anybody else. Because you know once you go on there, not only they're going to embarrass you, you're going to lose a lot of your white audience too. Because there's a lot of white people and dominant society people that kind of peeping out Eminem shit too. And looking like, man, this shit kind of garbage. Because they don't be making sense. And then the flow is like, man, nigga, what? So I'm like, man, come on, man. I just see a lot of things. I just be like, man, this shit is crazy. Just like, let me tell you what else is crazy. I'm just reading this thing that Trump to sign in order to interpret Judaism as a nationality. Judaism is not being a Jew that's a religion. That's not no race. But like I said before, see, while we sitting up there taking off Eminem, they putting shit into policy for these dominant society motherfuckers to make sure they stay in place. And let me say, no diss, because I admire how the Jewish community does business. And they will not let you come in and infiltrate and talk shit about another Jew. Because if you have a problem with a Jew, one, you have a problem with them all. They will shut you down. That's why, if you notice, No diss, but you don't never hear a lot of people that's mainstream talking shit about Jews. Just like Benzino said on the Drink Champs, he was just like, yeah, motherfuckers talk that shit, but they won't talk that shit about the Jews though. The Jews though, they won't say no shit about them. They get shut down. Exactly. LeBron James was reciting a lyric from 21 Savage, "I'm getting Jewish money," and they made LeBron apologize. So what does that tell you? That's the type of power that they have. Why the fuck you know why you got to apologize? Because you have corporate sponsors. That's what happens. So that should let you know. Anybody in the NBA, they just like you. They may have more money, you more options, but they're the same as you. It can be taken away from them at any fucking time. That's why I like brothers like Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon was on NBC. Nick Cannon did his special. NBC tried to approach him about saying nigga and all this other shit. He was like, no, I'm not going to stop saying that. And they was like, oh, well, we're going to need you to apologize. He's like, well, not only am I not going to apologize, I quit. Y'all can get that money to somebody else. And he was classy. Excuse me. He was extra classy when he did it because he could have aired all they racist dirty laundry, but he didn't have to. Because what happened a year and a half later? Gabrielle Union starts calling out the fuckery and calling out all the racist bullshit that they had going on. See? See what happens? This is what happens when we don't open up our eyes and understand. Nigga, you're getting played. As Tommy told Martin when Martin was showing off the ring that he bought Gina, if y'all watch Martin. And I'm not Tommy, but Cole. And Cole was like, damn, Martin, so you got her that ring. What did Gina get you? And he was like, and she was like, all my love and respect for the rest of his life. Cole looked at Martin and was like, you got played, bruh. For real. And that's the thing that I don't think we understand. Look, we getting played. I just look I've been watching and observing Eminem for a long time. And I'm like, for probably about the last, I would say 10 years, I'm like, dude, why you don't never speak on no racist shit? Why doesn't he ever like call out the fuckery? Why is it always like okay? You know, I understand that shit. And you know it's some racist shit. And then when you have the major platform, you talking about Donald Trump. You know how many people are more, racism is Flint water. That's racism. Racism is the Monsanto's group. Racism is genetically modified food and fucking with people's major organs and organ harvesting and all this other bullshit. This is racism. I forgot the lady's name that was from Atlanta, and her son got killed and they wrapped him up in a wrestling mat, and then when she went to the coroner and they did the autopsy, they was like, all his organs is gone. Organ trafficking. That's racism. Redlining, gentrification, Jim Crow. That's racism. And I'm still waiting to see who's going to attack it. I'm still waiting. Besides people like Nick Cannon. And besides other people that's attacking this social injustice for melanated people. I'm not talking about all people. I'm just waiting. That's why, like, all right, no, because I'm glad. Because not only is it good for hip hop, it's good for other people to be like, well, about time somebody stand up. He's not a rap guy, and he's not a great. He's just another motherfucker that's rapping. That know how to rap fast and slow. Go watch this documentary that Ice-T did. Very, very good documentary that I watched. Very, very good documentary. And he had Royce the 5'9" on there, and he had Eminem on there. And when he had Eminem on there, Eminem started breaking down how he was stealing everybody's shit. He mimicked Tretch. Redman. I was like, oh, God, just stop. Stop doing that. Just shut up. Stop. And was proud of that shit. As you sit and make money off our culture. That's what's so crazy. These motherfuckers know they can make so much money off. It's so much pimping to be done in our culture. So they come amongst us, they make money off our culture, and they go give back to their own. And then when you go around them, they be laughing at you and talking shit about you. That's why I don't get mad at any other race. I don't have any ill will feelings towards any other race. But I'm not going to allow any other race to just come in around me and just totally disrespect people in my race and ask dumbass questions and have this white fragility, and it ain't just white people that have it. It's other races that have that too. And they get around and be like, well, why do black people do this? And then they try to box you in a corner like you the spokesperson for black people. You know what I told a motherfucker? I said, look, not only am I not the Las Vegas tour guide on black culture, I am not the spokesman of black culture. So are you asking me individually, or are you asking most people? I don't know what most black people do. And then once you start responding that way, oh yeah, I can't talk to him like that. You damn right. Because I'm not the one. So don't ask me. Period. I think a lot of the times we are more focused on entertaining people and kissing ass than being like, hey, hold on. This seemed like some fuckery too. So hold on. I can see other niggas in hip hop being like, oh, man, look, Eminem, look, you my man, but man, you gonna have to figure that shit out on your own. Because I can't go against the code, my G. Like, nah, you gotta figure that out on your own. No, it's just so many niggas jumping out there. You know, when I listen to the diss on YouTube and I'm reading the comments and Nick Cannon should have stopped and all, it's like, oh my God. And these are probably Sambos and Coons. Period. That's why I know what Lord Jamar said about Eminem hurt. It had to have hurt. Because why would you address him? You address him because I know it bothers you and it's attacking your credibility. Because now a lot of black people start looking at you because you got some funny style type shit going on. You come on BET when you promote an album. Other than that, I don't never see you on BET. I don't never see. They can say, oh, well, he's a recluse. You don't, man, get the fuck out of here. You don't never do interviews. You just put out albums. We don't ever see what the fuck you got going on. And I think a lot of people are just happy to be around him, you know, that are melanated people. They're not going to call it his fuckery because I don't think nobody has really been like, dude, you on some bullshit. Maybe for Royce the 5'9", I don't know. I'm talking about somebody that's not a part of his camp that make money with him. That's like, no, that's some bogus bullshit. Like, why you talk about that, man? That's that man's baby mom, man. You need to leave that shit alone, man. Like he already said, he trying to holler at you. Dead that shit, homie. Because you not, like Suge Knight said, niggas be talking this shit and rolling around with a whole bunch of motherfucking police. That's a fact. And dry snitching. And then acting like they not telling the whole motherfucking time. It's more niggas that's in the private hip-hop community that act like corporate America than you think. That ain't about their life. That will get approached by other motherfuckers and be like, oh, man, I ain't say that. So that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes when we see shit like that, listen to it. That's why I listened to the beginning. Oh, yeah, we know Suge Knight did some fuckery type shit or whatever. That's fine. But that's a separate instance. I'm talking about what he was saying about Eminem and just talking in general about all the good things that Nick Cannon has done. And he's like, dude, you're not doing shit for the culture and you a bitch. You hide behind police. Stop acting like you not even about that shit. So why would you talk about somebody and then talk about some shit 10 years ago and wait till you get on somebody's album? And I'm glad it's doing good for Fat Joe. But that's what I'm saying when it comes to our people. We'll sell us out. And I got love for Fat Joe, but I don't think that was a good move. But then again, maybe it was. Because now Nick Cannon can pull that motherfucker on out and shine the light on his white ass. And now motherfuckers will be like, okay. So you're talking all this shit on Instagram and Twitter, but then behind closed doors, your management is trying to contact Nick Cannon. What the fuck do Nick Cannon need to lie about? Exactly. So let this be a lesson to everybody that it's about being on code and it's about admiring and respecting the black people that's in your community that's moving and shaking and trying to uplift the community and not just be a bloodsucker of the poor and just drain the resources dry and then sit from a standpoint of judgment because a motherfucker like Joe Budden called their asses out. And then everybody coming to his events and talking shit about Joe Budden. I'm like, why the fuck everybody going in on Joe Budden? And then you put his business out there and all. It's like, okay. And then when you asked about it, well, that was for that. What the fuck? Look, you can look at him and tell him, like, man, you probably get uncomfortable just being around a whole bunch of black people. You need to be around one black person at a time. What's happening, Tommy? I see you. But hey, man, I'm telling you right now, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. I just thought I'd hit motherfuckers up about that shit. Go do your research for yourself. Go look up some of Eminem's music. Go look at the music when Dre was around and when Dre wasn't around. Go look at the music and how it changed once Proof passed away. Oh, he did some god-awful shit to Proof. To Proof's family. Trying to get the masters and shit. Because there were masters that M and Proof had in songs and shit that I guess Proof wrote in verses and shit that he wrote for Eminem. So after Proof died, they was sending Proof's mom like $6,000 a month for like a year and a half. And then when her house was about to go into foreclosure, we talking about Proof from Detroit. When the house was trying to go into foreclosure, she tried to reach out to Eminem. Motherfucker act like he didn't know her. Let the house go into foreclosure. But they didn't talk about, I think the day or week after Proof died, Eminem and Paul Rosenberg went to Proof's family's house and was trying to get the masters to the shit that Proof had locked up. That's how motherfuckers will do you. See, after I watched that shit, I was like, that's all I needed to see. That was all I needed to see. I was like, got it. That confirmed how I was already feeling. Period. And trust me, don't think I didn't feel like no motherfucking fool. My brother was telling me the whole fucking time, man, fuck that white boy. He trash. Y'all only listening to him because of Dre. Listen to what he talking about. He's not talking about nothing that relates to any of us. So that's why I had to give respect where I had to give my brother props. I was like, man, you was right that whole time. And I felt dumb. He was like, well, I know you was listening to the music because you like the beats, but no. And I'll piggyback. And I remember my brother was like, I wasn't impressed by it because not only is he white, do you know how hard it is for black artists? And you put on a white boy? And you got all these black people that want to be put on? So at the time, I didn't understand that because I was younger. But as I got older and matured, I'm like, damn, man, my brother was right. It's all these motherfucking black people that need to get put on. You know how many fucking black people Dre had on Aftermath? He never put out none of their shit. Rakim, you had the greatest MC of all time on your fucking record label, and you beefing with him? Man, get the fuck out of here. That's Rakim Allah. Any music you put out with him is gonna go. You Dre. So just do the fucking beats and let him do it. But you put the white boy out, because white motherfuckers sell. That's why I love Timbaland, but you got Tank, you got all these great artists that are black, and I guess when you in music, you don't see color. Some people don't. I do though, because I know the struggle. And there's a whole bunch of black artists out there that can show you some Timbaland beats, like Tank. And Tank's albums are dope, and Tank's production is dope. But imagine Tank, or imagine TGT or Tank on a Timbaland production album. Look at the chemistry and look at the hits that Timbaland made with Genuine. So you mean to tell me he couldn't have done it again with Tank? But I understand the record labels get to dangling money in front of your house, your face, and telling you what sells and what doesn't sell and all that other stuff. So it's like, okay, I get it. And I'm not Timbaland, so I don't know. But consciously, nah, I'm good. And what I mean by that is it's so hard for us to sustain. Look at what they do to black people in the game. Look what they did to Prince. Now you're seeing Prince items and shit everywhere, and Prince songs, all this other bullshit on the radio, all this other shit. You see that shit all the fucking time because Prince is dead. People don't know Prince had a 25-year deal that if he was in the music game for 25 years, he gets all his fucking masters. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Motherfuckers don't know that. He gets all his masters. Oh, and on the 25th year, Prince just found dead. Nigga, Prince was riding a bike just before that. Then they try to say he was a dope fiend and all that. Man, Prince was conscious. He wasn't no dope fiend. Then it's like, oh, well, there's no will and testament. As conscious as Prince was, you trying to tell me that he didn't have nothing? That's a motherfucking lie. And you know why I know they lying? Because Michael Jackson, like I talked about it before, specifically had a will where it was basically leaving everything to the mama, and the mama get a chance to divide up the pie and give it and do what the fuck she want to do. And like I said, we all know Michael Jackson. We all know he wasn't crazy about his dad, but he loved his mama. So with that being said, when those lawyers came out, oh no, we have the real will. Man, get the fuck out of here. Because that's how the game is played. That's how the fucking game is played. Period. You gotta have a will and testament. That's how the game is fucking played. And even with a will and testament, you can still get some crooked lawyers to come and be like, oh, that's not the real will. We got the real will. Because Michael consulted us. Man, get the fuck out of here. This is what they do. This is what they do. You're like, oh, it ain't. Yes, it is that deep. It is that deep. Because please believe you me, besides 50 Cent and Jordan Lucas, who the fuck else has he put on? Because of 50 Cent, under the umbrella, you get G-Unit. You put Obi Trice on, and now maybe Obi Trice had some problems, but I got Obi Trice's last album. Eminem ain't nowhere on it at all, period. Zilch, nada. But you supposed to care so much about the culture. I remember when D12 was on Sway in the Morning. Matter of fact, not even Sway, they was on Sway in the Morning, they was on the Breakfast Club. They didn't say nothing bad about him, but where is Eminem at? This is his group, D12. Man, get the fuck out of here. So that's why I'm like, look, man, but for some sort of reason, you don't never hear that about Nick Cannon. You don't never hear motherfuckers come out like, yeah, man. Like when Joe Budden spoke on the fucking group and how verses was being taken off and why everything got to go through him and we're rapping off of all his beats. He's like, man, what? So get the fuck out of here. So that's why I'm like, that makes perfect sense. And then when they ask about it, I lost a lot. Dude, I lost so much money. I wanted them to do well. Man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, as long as you co-signing it, motherfucker. It's a lot. Look, let me tell you something. It's a lot of dominant society motherfuckers that's just like him. They want you to do well as long as it's under them. As long as you're not doing better than them. If you're doing better than them, they have issues with you. If you even exemplify or exude any type of intelligence that's better than theirs, oh, they got a problem. I'm telling you, on a personal note, I've hardly ever been around any Caucasian or dominant society people that when you exhibit or show like, nah, I know how to make moves, they be more shocked like, damn. It's almost like when you like, oh yeah, I read. You read? Because they just don't expect that, especially if they don't read. They just don't expect that. So we have to start expecting the unexpected. And if y'all don't believe me, look up Nick Cannon's diss track and just listen to it. It may not be the best lyrical, but it's great to me. Because at least somebody is finally standing up to this whole ass motherfucker. Besides Benzino. Period. Hey man, I appreciate everybody listening and subscribing. Hey man, my shit ain't for everybody and I don't give a fuck. I do this because it's therapy for me. Each one teach one. Love, live life. I appreciate everybody listening and subscribing like I said before. Hey man, this is the No I Don't Know TV series. I am out of here. Peace.